So in school, I would watch a lot of TV, a lot of movies, and I wouldn't just watch it for the entertainment factor. I would actually study it for some reason.
Welcome, everybody, to an episode of Desi Men Finally Talking. I'm so excited to have my friend for so many years, Kamran, or Cam, as he's also known by in his, that's his showbiz name. Welcome, Kamran, to the show. So happy to have you.
Thank you, Yusuf. I appreciate that, brother.
You know,
Been a long time, man. Been a long time together.
It's been a long time. We go back since our college days, and a lot has happened for you since our college days. I mean, we've changed in so many ways. You can tell physically, but I really want to talk about the journey you've been on since college. But let's start. We'll start even earlier than that. However, for the people who are listening, your participation and showcasing your talent in Cobra Kai, Outer Banks, all these great, amazing shows. We'll get into the details of exactly what you've been doing, but I just think it's a fascinating journey. We always knew you had talent, but your trajectory has been tremendous. So congratulations on your success, first of all.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, I don't consider myself talented or anything. I just literally happened to fall into this, and very, very, very blessed to be in this industry. Very blessed.
Well, let's start from the very beginning, and then we'll get into, of course, your burgeoning career. Let's start with your immigration experience, Kamran. You came to the United States from Pakistan as a child. How old were you when you came?
Well, it was in between 1979 and 1980. I think it was in December of 1979. So
nice.
Ridiculously cold in New York City. And we came to Queens, and I must have been, I'm born in 74. So I was 6.
Oh, wow.
I was 6 years old. Yeah. Okay. So I joined first grade when I came to Queens, New York. The cold, I remember coming out of that airport happy, and then that cold, that hard hit cold.
I remember.
I've never experienced that in my life, of course, in Karachi. So yeah, it was crazy. I mean, and I joined first grade. Of course, it was a big task to learn English. I honestly don't remember. I always thought I always knew English and I communicated well, but I'm sure I sounded like this and I didn't know how to talk.
Yes, I know all about it.
Yeah. And I remember watching football and this and that. We lived in one little apartment, one bedroom apartment. It was me, my dad, my brother, my mother, and we literally had a studio apartment, and the living room would turn into a bedroom at night.
Wow. That immigration experiences, I've talked to so many of my friends about it. It leaves such a deep impact on who we are today. And I think it adds another dimension to our lives. When we spoke a while ago, you told me about your immigrant experience, but you also told me about how you spent so much time, and I'm going to make a connection between your interest in the performing arts and your childhood. You spent a lot of time watching movies, but you had a different angle when you watched. Tell me about that.
So basically what I used to do was I felt like I didn't fit in, of course, right? I got made fun of a lot. Nobody knew what Pakistan was back then in the 80s. Yeah. So in school, I would watch a lot of TV, a lot of movies, and I wouldn't just watch it for the entertainment factor. I would actually study it for some reason. I would actually study the nuances of the actor, how they're acting, how they got that across, how they got this across, how they crying on screen. It's like, it was so impactful to me that damn, I want to be able to do that. That's so cool for me to do.
You were thinking behind the scenes. You're like,
yes,
you weren't not you were into the story, but you're also thinking about how is this person expressing these emotions and how are they
Yes.
putting all this together? That's different than most young kids when they watch TV.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally even thinking about the camera angles and how did they make this guy look like this? I know he doesn't look like this because I knew some of the actors from, I mean, the first movie I saw when I came to the US was Indiana Jones and
In the
the
Temple of Doom,
I believe. No, the Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was the first one. That was the first movie I saw. In fact, that was the first English American movie that I saw ever. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is amazing how they're getting it was heroic, it was sad, it was funny, it was exciting. And I don't know, I just studied it in and out. And I must have watched that movie hundreds of times. And then I kept watching other movies and other movies. E.T. was another one. E.T. was my first theater movie in America.
Oh, and I'm going to foreshadow a little bit. I think there's a link between you wanting to understand what's going on in the background, how things are working, and you being an engineer. You're an engineer, right? You're an electrical engineer.
Electrical engineer, yes.
So how things work is very important to you.
Yeah, I guess, and I didn't even know it. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't very studious, as you know, you went to school with me. Uh, I always like to hang out and talk and whatever. But when I did, yeah, I was always a problem solver type of thing, and finding out how to have things work. I always took things apart, put them back together, that type of stuff. Um, in school, yeah, I became an engineer. I decided to become an engineer at Hofstra, actually, at Hofstra University, where we went. I didn't know how to get into the entertainment industry, but I always loved the entertainment industry. I loved it with a passion. I love watching movies. In fact, my family was very annoyed by me that how many times I would watch one movie over and over again. They didn't realize that I was watching it for the research aspect of it. For what research? I had no idea. I have no idea. And then do you remember in Hofstra University where I sang for the first time?
Of course. So, I mean, you're a performing artist, right? So
I mean, I sang as a karaoke singer. I didn't, I don't know how to sing. I don't think I know how to sing, but you guys thought I knew how to sing.
You were good.
I mean, but
I mean, I remember that Chris Isaac song you sang at the fashion show, the South Asian fashion show at Hofstra. And it was amazing. The audience went nuts. People were like throwing roses at you. It was
that was the moment that I realized I want to
get something.
That I want to get into this, and I love this attention that I'm getting. People were throwing roses at me.
Yes.
I remember one of the audience members, in fact, one or two of them came up to me, gave me a hug and gave me a rose. There was a guy, but it was fun.
Look, man, I saw the audience that night. It was unbelievable. And Chris Isaac, what was the name of the song?
Wicked Game.
Yes. Wicked Games.
Yeah. And
amazing. And
the way everybody just get the response I got from everybody.
Yeah.
Made me think, I gotta get into this somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe singing.
Maybe singing. It's the adulation and the acceptance and the love that you get from the audience. It must have been such an adrenaline for you.
Huge adrenaline. And not only adrenaline, it was such a achievement for me, like personally. It was an achievement. Because honestly, all my life I was suppressed as a Desi, as a Pakistani kid who just came from Pakistan. Living in the United States, my parents were very, very strict. I didn't go to any prom. I didn't go to any parties. I never went out. I never drank in my life. I don't know how it tastes. I was very enclosed inside the house. I wasn't allowed to go out.
You were more so than the average South Asian kid back in the day.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you had to be home at a certain time.
Yes.
You had to check in.
Remember?
Yeah, check in all the time. I mean, it was really. Back then I was thinking, wow, it's a rough life. I was actually kind of living on my own. I was an RA on campus, then I had my own apartment. So I was like, compared to that in college, this guy has it rough. This guy has it rough. So you had all that. So what was the stigma? What was the fear that your family had around you
That I would become
having
too
this
westernized.
talent? Huh?
I would become too westernized. I would
Mm,
go out, do wrong things, drugs, alcohol, that's
yeah,
the first thing that comes to mind is drugs
yeah,
and alcohol,
yeah, yeah.
because you want to have fun like these other people, Americans, quote
Yeah.
unquote, and you want to party and have drugs and alcohol and this and that. You're going to get into the wrong path and you're not going to become the engineer or doctor that we want
Mm.
you.
And what did they make of your talent? Did they know? Did your parents know you had this talent? And
So the singing, yes. The singing, yes. The acting, so, you know, I used to be, especially from my father, he used to tell me a lot that, this guy is an actor. Okay, he's an actor. Big deal. He's an
yeah.
actor.
So
But
he was
in a bad way, in a malicious
yeah.
way.
So he's a fraud. He's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
kind of
Yes, exactly.
disingenuous, all that. Yeah. Okay.
Disingenuous. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you are an actor.
He's a
You,
drama.
yeah. You can't be trusted, basically.
Your parents are they're saying, look, this talent stuff, yeah, he can sing, but they're thinking it's not a good thing because he's not a serious boy because
No,
he doesn't concentrate at school. He has this thing with singing. He's good at it, but
that's
they
right.
don't look at it in a
Yes.
positive light.
Basically, he used to tell me, my dad and mom actually used to tell me, keep this as a side thing,
Hobby.
keep it as a hobby. Exact. That's the word, hobby. I couldn't think of that word. This is a hobby. Don't go into it. This is you have to do school and become a big engineer or doctor, right?
Yes. When I talk to my friends who are ex-athletes, I have a friend, played South Asian friend who played Division I basketball. I have a friend who played lacrosse in college. I have a friend who swam, um, at the Olympics, actually, all South Asians.
Really?
But a lot of them had a really, hard time with their parents really not taking
Them
their
serious?
talent seriously.
Yeah.
It's just a side thing. The most important thing is that you learn to earn and you do something that has some status, and that gets in the way. That
Yeah.
really
And I
gets in
think
the
it's
way.
also
Stifles talent.
I think it's also a fear of failure. Because it's a very far and few in between that make it
Yeah.
to that, the fact that I'm even in where I am right now is a huge, paradox. It's a huge chance. I mean, something was lined up right in the universe for me
Yeah.
to come here.
The immigrant experience is such that they roll the dice when they come here.
Yes.
They leave
The
their
risk.
roots. They come here. And they're like, we don't want to roll any more dice.
That's
We
right.
we want to do what's tried and tested. You get an education, you get a job, and there's a paycheck coming in. And
Right.
that's a perspective. And
Yeah.
I think there's merit to it.
Yeah.
However, there's a balance between that and stifling talent.
Yeah.
Maybe your talent isn't about becoming a doctor or lawyer. Maybe it's something else. So that happened. You grew up, and so when did you realize that, look, there's something here? What happened?
That when I realized and I kind of put it in the back burner is the talent show.
Mm,
Is the talent
in
show.
college.
I
Okay.
never had I always did karaoke singing at home and for people and blah blah blah, just small settings. But having 200, 300, 400 people in an audience and them to react like that, if you went into my head at that moment, I was like, I may have something here. And maybe I should go for this. Maybe I should do something about this. I just didn't know how. And of course, the fact that my parents would mind or wouldn't like it kind of put me down to earth and said, you know what, just do what you got to do right
So
now.
what did it feel like to put it on the back burner?
It felt like a lottery ticket that I had won, but I can't cash it in. I got to put it away.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Yeah. So that's what it felt like.
Mm.
And then fast forward to so I became an engineer from Hofstra University. Um, mind you, I had a degree in psychology. Then I went to NYU to get a master's in management of technology, and I had a minor in engineering.
Wow.
I became an engineer, worked for my father's company in New York, where I was a satellite communications engineer. I used to design little amplifiers for Tomcats, F-14 Tomcats and satellites that basically communicated back and forth with missiles
Mm.
on a high level. So I was living with my parents. Okay, after I got married, I met Malia, my wife, in when I was like 15. So I knew I had to get married to her. I married her.
You got the joint family thing going on.
I got the joint family thing going on, which is it's not it is not what's the word I'm looking for? It is so unorthodox. It doesn't work. It does
Mm.
not work.
Mm.
You know, having two women in the same home never works, especially when your dad and and your mom is telling you this is what you should be doing and this is the wrong thing. God, where are you going so late at night? I'm going out with my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can't take us with you, that type of thing. So anyway, old thinking,
Still stifled as an
that was
adult.
the
Very
old, yeah,
stifling. Yeah.
yeah. So I started looking around for jobs, and then I got an offer. Believe it or not, I got an offer from Atlanta, Georgia, from an engineering company called EMS Technologies, Honeywell. They were offering me more than New York, offered me a huge bonus. They wanted to move me. They packed my stuff, moved me here in Atlanta, and unpacked for me. So I was like, this is a no given. Obviously my dad and mom were like, you know what? If you leave, you're never talking to us again. Yeah, that lasted about two,
And
three
fast
months.
forward so that
Yeah.
people know now your parents live with you.
Oh yeah. My parents live with me and my brother. That's right. And my brother. So they go back and forth.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So
Yeah.
now you're Atlanta
Now
and
I'm
you're
in
doing this
Atlanta.
engineer thing. You
Yep.
cranked out a few kids and
Yep.
you have
Five to be exact.
you have
Yeah.
five kids
Yeah.
and so you were doing life. You were,
Yeah.
job, kids, all this stuff.
Job, kids, all this stuff.
And
And then
you got the
2008
talent,
hit.
your talent on the back
I
burner.
forgot about that.
You
That's
forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. I still love the movies. I still analyze movies to this day. I still analyze movies. I watch them to analyze them, and I'll watch them over and over again if it's a good movie. The Father with Anthony Hopkins. I have
Mhm.
studied that movie over and over again, just to
Mhm.
how he seems so effortless when he's doing something, yet it comes across on screens like wow, like you know what I mean. That's what I want to be. So I studied it. Then I put it in the back burner. I forgot about it. I was like, all right, family first. Got to take care of everybody. Got to put food on the table. 2008, 2009 recession hit. I lost my whole lab. I was let go among 500 or 600 other people. I looked for a job. Then I started studying, and they told me, hey, you may need a psychologist for coping with unemployment and blah blah blah. Come on, I'll find another job. A year and a half, 2 years later, I'm pulling my hair out. I'm like, what the hell do I do? What do I do? I've got no savings left, right? I'm asking for my dad's help, which he
And now
does
you
help,
got five kids.
and I've got 5 kids. My brother helped me a lot. My brother helped me a lot. Um, anyway, I got a job at Deloitte and Touche.
After a year and a half to 2 years.
After a year and a half to 2 years, I studied to be a business analyst, an IT
Hmm.
guy, because I was always good at communicating
Yeah.
and
And people in general.
and yeah, and a lot of acting goes into that. Believe it or not, you got to act like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
when I was working for Deloitte, um, Ritz Carlton is connected to Deloitte. The door is literally connected to Deloitte. There's a front door and a side door. People used to come right into the Deloitte building because it's such a beautiful building and it's a restaurant and whatever in the main lobby. I was
Downtown
walking
Atlanta.
through downtown Atlanta. I was walking through the main lobby in a gray suit. I remember black tie, white shirt, and hair slicked back. I cleaned up good. But
Nice.
as I was walking, somebody approached me and they said, "Are you an actor?" I said, "What is this, a calling or something? What kind? What do you mean?" Yeah, no, I'm not an actor.
Wait, did they just came up to you, just one person, a man
We
or
bumped
woman?
into each other. We were kind of passing. We were kind
Okay.
of passing. He's like, "Excuse me, are you an actor?" Uh, no, no, but I would like to be. I've always wanted to be.
Did you say
What?
that?
Yeah, I said that. I was like, I've always wanted to be. So he said, well, you know what? You have a good look. You have the white. At this time, I had the white in my analyst sites. More black up here. Now it's a lot of black and white. But he said that, you know what? Give me a call. We really like your look. We'd like for you to audition. I said, what is this for? Can't tell you. Okay, fine. I called him. He emails me this 3 or 4 lines. And I said, okay, I'll do it. I'll come in and audition. I can do this. I went in, auditioned. They loved it. They hired me on the spot. I said, what's the movie? What is this? What is this for? Captain America Civil War.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what? How is this possible? So from Captain America Civil War, an agency contacted me saying that we saw you there. There's a lot of people who referenced
So
you.
hold on. Captain America.
No.
Walk me through, you auditioned, they gave you the part, and then you show up to work the first day. You've never done anything like this. What
Dude,
happened?
I saw, first of all, you're sitting there waiting, and there's a room of about the scene in the beginning scene. By the way, the scene was cut because it was too violent by the Russo
Hmm.
brothers.
Hmm.
The Russo brothers were there, and the scene was an auction, a black market auction, and I was one of the auctioneers going talking and blah blah blah, and I was like, and it just clicked like I got to be a bad guy now, and I can be a bad guy. So there's a camera here, there's a camera there, there's a camera here. 14 hours later, right in the middle of the shoot, we're shooting, and I'm like, this is freaking amazing. This is awesome. I love
You
this.
weren't intimidated by the lights, the
No, hell
camera.
no. I fit in. It was like, oh man, I'm made for
That was
this.
your jam.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I had to act like I died. So I was like, I died on camera. And literally the director decided to put the camera right here on my face as I'm acting. And I was like, this has got to mean something. They may want me for more. Um, and the main guy in the scene, which is Daniel Brule, he walks by me, and the main guy that they chose for the auction, who was from Indonesia, he comes and dies on my lap. It was a great scene. It was crazy that they cut it, but what happened was
You had that experience.
Chris Evan walks in.
Wow.
Chris Evan came in to say hi. That was the first day of shoot for the first scene.
For the audience, Chris Evan has been in what? What's he known for?
Chris Evans is, Captain America. Chris Evans is Captain America character. He's been in a lot of movies, and
That's awesome.
he was the original Fantastic Four.
Right.
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 So he walks in, this beautiful, tall guy, and I was like, oh, Chris Evans, oh my God. So I don't know if you know, Daniel Brule is very famous. He was in the movie Rush.
Oh, okay. Oh,
With the face burned off, where he was the driver. Daniel Brühl is an amazing actor. He knows about 6 or 7 different languages: German, French, this and that, Austrian. He knows a lot of different languages. Chris Evans, I just shook his hand. Daniel Brühl, I walked up to and I go, they stole that Oscar from you. And he's like, oh, thank you so much. He had an accent. He had a German accent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What's your name? I'm like, I'm Kamran Shaikh. It's like, you're going to do well in this industry. And I was
wow.
like,
Talk about reinforcement.
sure, thank you. Yeah. I mean, and I really thought they stole the Oscar from him because his acting was amazing in Rush,
Yeah.
because the movie won an Oscar. From there on, I met an agent. An agent contacted me. I got Ozark, NCIS, McGyver. It just kept coming. And this is 5 years ago, 6 years ago, mind you.
For the audience to understand, you have a full-time job while you're doing all this.
Yeah. So I'm a director of marketing at American Elevator. And I work for that. I basically do that from home. I manage a team of salespeople, and I manage the company's uh, marketing,
Okay.
ROI. This and that.
So that's going
So,
on while you're doing this acting stuff.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. In fact, when I joined the company, I told them that I'm an actor first,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then I work for you. So the owner of the company, he was like, "Yeah, this is good. This is probably going to be good for our company." I said, okay, fine. So he loves me. We get along great together. He knows, he understands when I go away to do something, I can work right on the computer in my trailer if I have to, or in the hotel room.
That's
Um,
amazing. A lot of people think if you want to be an actor, you got to drop everything and
yeah,
you but you managed it very differently and successfully. You didn't give up your main source of income.
the only reason why I didn't drop everything and just do that is because I had a family to look
Yeah.
after. If I was single, I would probably be working as a waiter, like any other actor, and move to LA and that type of stuff. But I had a family of five kids and a wife. My oldest one now is 26. My youngest
You,
one now is
you had to
12.
keep a 9 to 5.
I had to do something to put food on the table. My wife is busy with the kids, that she doesn't want to be the one to go to work and the kids are at home. God knows what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. So she wanted
Yeah.
to keep an eye on the kids as they see parents. We that's important to us, kids first, and then everything else.
That's amazing how you balance both of those things. Are you able to put your finger on what is it about your look that they like? What
I
what
honestly
clicks?
I honestly have a very low self-esteem, believe it or not. I have a good game. I have a good talk, but honestly, if you look in here, I have a very low self-esteem. I don't know if it's because of my upbringing or what, or being told that this is what you can do, otherwise you will fail at everything else. Um, so I have a very low self-esteem, especially about my looks. And I have this scar right
I
here.
remember the
This is,
scar.
this is you remember, 94. I had a car accident that basically I'm lucky to be alive, honestly. My face was ripped off, my ear was hanging, my upper lip was split open. It was crazy. I looked like a mess. I never thought I would get back to semi-normal. So this scar kind of reminds me of, keep it down, buddy.
Hmm.
I'm back to earth.
Life can change in a second,
Life can change in a
for the
second.
good or the bad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the thing that I think it's this. I think it's the Doctor Strange look. This I
Mm,
never
mm.
colored my hair. And then everybody's always told me you've got a very ambiguous look. You can be any race, you could be Mexican, you could be Arabic, you could be Pakistani, you could be Indian. I played all these people. I played
Yeah, I've
Latino.
seen you.
I played I played an Arab guy with a whole garb. I played an Indian guy in Evil Eye as a Guruji. I played another Indian guy in Law and Order as I was the main villain in Law and Order. Um, so and
Of
it
course,
just yeah,
within that there's your presence, the able to convey a
yeah,
character that's believable, all of that.
yeah, you have to follow directions and never be late, basically, is what I've
I
learned
see.
from this
So
industry.
it started with your look. You
Yeah.
had this look. They liked you for the look, but then they saw your work. It was like, this is a perfect fit. This guy's made for this.
Yeah, I mean it's because of all this. I've never taken an acting class. I've never studied theater. I've only watched movies and taught myself everything. And not even taught myself. I was so interested in it that it just came naturally to me. I don't know if it's cliche to say I'm a natural actor, but that's how it just ended up. I just love the field so much. And my dad to this day tells me, this is a hobby, okay?
Yeah. Keep
Take
it on
care
the
of your
side.
family, keep it on the
Won't pay
side.
the
I
bills.
said, no, Dad. Now I have the willpower to tell him, no, Dad, this is my life. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm made to do.
This is who I am.
Yeah, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. So he says, okay, fine, do what you gotta do.
He's given up.
He's basically,
I came across his interview of Tom Hanks, and he grew up a bunch of different households. He had a lot of turmoil earlier on in his life, lots of moving around, different parents, etc. But he said what that did for him was an opportunity to watch a lot of TV.
Tom Hanks said this.
Tom Hanks said this, and he, I don't think he is a trained actor or anything, or maybe got some training later, but his interest was natural, and he was always thinking what's happening behind the scenes. And he said, that was one of the main reasons he was fixated on this art form.
Yeah.
Is because of his circumstances in his life. And similar to you, what I'm hearing is, look, because of the nature of my life early on, I got to watch a lot of movies, which I naturally was inclined towards. So it's amazing how that works, right?
Not only that, life experiences really help. There's a reason why I became an actor at 46, 47, rather than way younger. I went through so much with, I've got 5 kids, but we've also had like 2 or 3 miscarriages, trauma, going through other stuff in life, just traumatic experiences, happy experiences, your kid being born, that type of stuff. So I can hone in on that in my scene and kind of bring that back and give it out to the world.
If you didn't have that, you'd be bland. You would have nothing to give.
Bland, yeah.
Wow. So, all of this great work. Now there's a strike.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So the strike is for the contract that we work on. Basically, actors. I'm a SAG-AFTRA actor, so the contract that we work on is basically 35 years old. I mean, they're literally doing the same thing from 35 years ago. Lots have changed for 35 years. Everything is streaming now. We as actors depend on residuals. So for Law and Order, NCIS, McGyver, and all these other stuff that's on network TV, I get a check all the time. I get some kind of residual. For the streaming services, you don't get residuals. So that's what we're fighting for. One. There's 15 or 20 other things, also small things, an increase in pay, like 2%, 3% we're asking for. And then the other thing is not using our AI. What they're proposed, what the AMPTP, which is the American Motion Picture and Television Productions, have proposed that we can take somebody's likeness, make it into AI, and use it at our discretion anytime, forever. And not
paying you.
Pay this guy once for that one day of work, and then keep his likeness forever. So I don't know where the industry is going. I don't know if they're going to come back to the negotiation table, but I started looking into Pakistani drama.
Oh,
yeah. What's
that experience like?
I love Pakistani. I when I say I watch movies or shows or blah blah blah, I mean, I've watched French movies, I've watched Russian movies, I've watched German movies, I've watched Pakistani and Indian, of course. So all of it is in my head. I see that Pakistani dramas are very popular among our community, especially in America, more than
that's
Pakistan.
India exports Bollywood and Pakistan exports their dramas.
Their drama, right?
For decades, yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking into that. I have actually spoken to this great guy, Farhan Aga Ali. He's a good actor in Pakistani drama. He's pretty famous. He's been talking to me, and I'm going to meet him in January to have some meetings with Hum TV and Geo and stuff like that. So
that's awesome. Our friend Farhan Tahir, who we know in common, he was in the Iron Man series. He's also doing some work in Pakistan, which is great, and he along with some theater. So all the actors are trying to keep themselves busy, which I applaud.
I actually had an audition for Uruguay.
Oh wow! In Spanish.
No, it was in American in English, but it was I played. I didn't do it. I mean, I did the audition. I haven't heard back from them yet. It's from my European agent. She said that they want a ambiguous looking director of a movie who directs basically on Zoom. So Yeah, so it was
Interesting.
cool. It was cool the way the audition played out. It was very cool.
Wow, the people you get to meet, the
Yeah,
experiences you
man.
get to have.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of your Facebook pictures when you're in Outer Banks. Where did you film that?
Oh, so Outer Banks, lucky me, I had to go to Barbados for a month and a half.
Amazing.
It was
Month and a half.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
you did a whole season in a month and a half?
No, just one episode.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, it was out on a boat. It was a very complicated shoot because, we rented a boat from Russia, basically. And the captain came in, and I'm supposed to be the captain of that ship. And this, mind you, this is not a normal boat. This is a giant
A
200
yacht.
something foot. Yeah, yeah, basically it's a cargo carrier.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cargo carrying ship.
It's huge.
So we were out on the boat and going off to sea every single day. Well, not every single day. There was a lot of downtime also because there's other shoots being taken
This
place.
downtown in Barbados. How bad can that be?
I mean, dude, they gave us a resort. Netflix hooks you up. They
Nice.
they gave us a resort. They gave us, obviously anything you can eat, anything you want to do, anything in the island that you want to do, you basically can go out, have fun, whatever. Um, the stunt scenes, I wanted to do it myself. They had a stunt double for me, but I said, you know what, that I want this to be the camera being right on my face when I'm doing
Mm,
it. So the
mm.
director appreciated that, and he's like,
You
if you
have that
can handle
discretion to say that?
yeah, yeah.
That's
And yeah,
awesome.
you can say that unless you're like, a big actor and they're like, no, we don't want you getting hurt. Well,
Mm.
with me, they're like, yeah, if you get hurt, it's okay.
You, it's okay.
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that experience was amazing. Going to Barbados, shooting like that. I made so many good friends. Charles Destin, Chase, and Rudy Pasca, Rudy, who plays JJ, and all these big names now
Wow.
on Netflix. And then we went to the premiere. Then I did season 3 as well. One episode in season 3.
Where can we see all this?
Netflix.
Awesome.
This is all Netflix. Cobra Kai is on Netflix. The Tutor, I'm on Tutor. Law and Order is on TV, of course.
Of course.
It's a new movie. Well, I was also in Disney's Haunted Mansion. You'll
Yeah.
recognize my voice. You won't recognize my face because I'm supposed to be a painting.
Ah, I see.
A painting that's talking, and
And then you were in an Indian independent movie as well. India House of
Yeah, I
Spices
was in India Sweets and Spices with Manisha.
with Manisha
Koirala.
Koirala. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the movie. It was really
Yeah.
good.
I
I
played the
really enjoyed
father.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have the talent to do all these things: Hollywood, Lollywood, Bollywood. You got it. You got it all. That's amazing.
I hope so, buddy.
Kamran, what's next for you?
Right now I'm just waiting for the strike to be over.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
it's gonna be over. Once that's over, what do you
It's
want to
going to
do?
be a bombardment of stuff coming in, and I hope. That's the
Amazing.
hopes. But for now, I'm going to be going to Pakistan and meeting with these people and see what they got to offer.
Yeah,
And I'm going to make them an offer they can't refuse.
of course you are. Of course you are. In Desi style.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I look forward to seeing more of you
Thank
in
you.
Hollywood, Bollywood, and Lollywood. Kamran, I wish you the best.
Thank you, buddy.
And you have an amazing story. There's so
Yeah.
many elements of
People keep telling me, why don't you write a book?
yeah, as
You know,
you should, but your book isn't complete yet. You have so much more to do.
It's not.
There's
I
so
hope it's
much
not.
more to do
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Kamran Shaikh.
Yeah.
Kamran, thank you so much for spending time with me and
No
narrating
problem,
your
buddy.
story. I think our audience is going to love it,
Yeah.
and we'll keep tabs on where you're going next. And I'm
Yeah, man.
sure it's great places.
I'll keep everybody updated.
All right. And then hopefully we can get your Instagram and if you're on Twitter and post it so that people can follow you
Yes.
and go on these adventures with you.
Yes, please.
All
Absolutely.
right, Kamran.
Thank you, bud.
Thank you.